to get back to... No, okay, hang on. How do we get back? Aha, okay. Oh, fuck's sake. Right now I'm just sorting out the thumbnail because I figured out how to set a thumbnail. I'm just sending it to the big PC from my laptop. Save an image. Thumbnail. Okay. So then if I go here and go... Yes, okay. Refresh. Yeah, okay. Save. Yeah, it worked. Okay. I did not know how to. um, is the video kind of? Is there a black bar above the video? I don't. I don't know. Oh no, it's fine. It's adjusted itself. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry. Yeah, I was just figuring out how to do thumbnails, and I was putting a thumbnail on the video, on the live, because I didn't know how to how to do that before. It's a very basic thumbnail because I actually made it while I was live, like this. The whole the whole time I was, the whole 10 minutes. Oh no, 10 minutes while I just wasn't talking was me making the thumbnail and figuring out, and on my laptop, and then transferring the image over to my big PC that I do the streaming on, so that I can I don't know, have a thumbnail that isn't just my banner like last time. But for some reason, the first two streams I did were they weren't my banner. They were just a random screenshot from from the video from the desk. So I don't know why on the third stream it chose to put my banner there, but apparently that's the normal thing. I'll just post the link on Twitter. No? If you don't know me, you have to understand that everything I do is scuffed to hell. Ooh, 4 people are watching. Or maybe, I don't know if that's viewers that are right now, but hello. So if you're there, I don't know, like talk in the chat. I will get some paper so that I can draw while I talk. Yesterday I did some drawing on stream and it really wasn't very good. Hello, Ven. How are you doing there? There's a pencil. There's a pencil. Ooga booga. There we go. I'm just adjusting things so that you can actually see what I'm doing. You said yesterday that the streams are dark. Is this particularly dark? Oh yeah, and am I quiet? Should I bring the microphone closer to me, or because I don't know how to adjust sensitivity and stuff. I don't know how anything works. Technology wise, I don't know how things work. I just moving my chair. So I don't know if the screen is annoyingly dark, and if I should adjust it or not. So tell me if I should. Yeah. What should I draw then? I think I should is the right pencil that I need. I think that one. Because right now on my screen it's this complete, you can't see any lines, or I can't see any lines on my screen, but there are lines. So maybe if I switch off that lamp and blind you for a second, and then turn on the smaller lamp, maybe you can see something. No, because either I have the lamp pointed at my desk and then I can see what I'm drawing, or well, if I have the lamp pointed at my desk, I can see, but you can't see. If I don't have the lamp pointed at my desk, I can't see, but you can see. Just very irritating. Anyway, but that was the thing. If it's if the brightness is too high on the screen. So someone, well, you actually, Ben, you said that that the video is too dark, but if I turn the brightness up, then you won't see anything at all, because there is actually a circle right here, but you can't see it in in the thing. I used to have like proper adjustable lamps. Well, both of my lamps are adjustable, but I mean, like, I think they were less harsh and more camera friendly than the ones I have now. These are one I got from a charity shop, and one has kind of just been in the house forever. Anyway, maybe if I make the lines more defined. Or if I move the move the camera, there, I don't know. I don't know. But tell me if I should turn the brightness up or down, so that you can see a bit of something there. Okay. I wish I would just adjust and like, yeah, what the fuck ever. Truth be told, I don't know how to draw and talk at the same time. But then again, you can't even see what I'm drawing, so it's really bugging me. Okay, yeah, you can see, and then if I put my hand there, it'll go way too bright, and you can't see anything. Anyway, bugger. Okay. So you make torso, and the head, make some eye there. I like for the lines to be very sketchy. Hands approximately at the pelvis length, and then I can go one leg in front of the other. Collarbone is very important. arms a bit wider because it's supposed to be a woman, and then the waist narrower, and then the shoulders more broad because she's supposed to be kind of strong. Hello. Yeah. I'm supposed to be talking about multiverses because that's what's on the tin, but truth be told, I may find it a bit difficult to focus on two tasks at the same time. This electric pencil sharpener. Yeah. But more people seem to be watching now. So yes. Well, that was what I was going to. A part of it is the problem of stakes, but I think my biggest problem with multiverses as a concept is more kind of in the morals of it, and so you take Star Wars for example. Right at the end of Return of the Jedi, you have Luke's decision not to kill Darth Vader, and then Darth Vader's decision. No, okay, we'll stick with the one decision, because we're talking about. Okay, no, I'll start at the beginning. Everything's very unstructured. Leave me alone. Okay. So there are a few different kinds of multiverses, because multiverse as a term just means multiple universes. So there are different ways to there are different methods and different formats of this same concept of multiple universes. One of which is my favourite and the easiest and the best is the Narnia method of multiverses, which is also the Minecraft method of multiverses, which is that there are multiple there are world, and they're all different. So one is like that. They're all different, and they're all completely unique. They have different histories, different geographies, they might have different magic systems. Like in the Chronicles of Narnia, there's our world, which doesn't have magic at all, but kind of does, because Narnia has like the Christian theme. So kind of, if you could say that God is the magic system, but whatever, that's a whole other thing. There is no overt like sorcery. No, there is overt sorcery in The Magician's Nephew. Uncle Albert, I think his name was, made the rings. So yes, there is actually overt sorcery in Chronicles of Narnia. Well, I'd say dimensions would be more the specific term for another kind of multiverse, which is the different versions of the same universe, right? Because dimension means different ways of looking at the same thing, right? Well, sort of. We'll stick with the one term, multiverses. But yeah, so the Narnia / Minecraft method of multiverses is that there are different, completely different worlds that are accessible by portals or by magic. In the Chronicles of Narnia, you go through the wood between worlds using the yellow and green rings from The Magician's Nephew, or you get dragged by Aslan you get dragged by the horn in Prince Caspian, or you get pulled in through the painting in Voyage of the Dawn Treader, or you get transported through the wardrobe in Lion the Witch and the Wardrobe, which was made. Yes, the wood of the wardrobe was made with wood that grew from the apple core from a tree from Narnia, the Tree of Life from Narnia. So that turned the wardrobe into a kind of portal for. That made the wood magic, and it made the wardrobe a kind of portal into Narnia. So there are multiple different methods of getting between worlds. Sometimes through the wood between sometimes through the wood between the worlds, like in The Magician's Nephew, but sometimes through other methods. Or if we're talking about Minecraft, which has a similar kind of multiverse system, you either use the Nether portal or the Ender portal. So different portals lead to different universes that are completely distinct, have different geographies, different life forms, different atmospheres, different magics. You could say that applies to Minecraft. Different levels of technology, different histories, all that good stuff, and you can access different worlds, and you can move between the worlds, and the different universes can have an effect on each other. So that's I would say the best method of multiverses. It's the most it's the easiest to write, because it kind of treats different multiverses as different it treats different universes as kind of different countries that you can kind of travel to through special means like a portal. And it's very simple, and it's very versatile in the way that you can it allows you to do things outside of what is normal for your story. So you could have a you could have your characters move from the main genre of your story into a completely different genre in another story. That was the thing. Something really stupid in the Marvels film. They have the musical section, because they go to a planet where they speak in song. That is stupid. That is insane. That is ridiculous. Why? How and why? That doesn't make any goddamn sense. But that thing, I don't hate the idea of using musical sections in non-musical stories. For example, one of the best episodes, or most memorable episodes of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, is the musical one, which Once More with Feeling. That was a great episode, partly because the songs were really good, but also because it was really funny and just it really stands out, and it kind of the genre bending. Genre bending is really fun. Or, for example, in the I think it's season 6 of House, the Get Happy scene, where Cuddy is in surgery, and the whole episode has multiple dream sequences that hint at the reveal towards the end of the episode, and it's done so well. But the last dream sequence is Hugh Laurie actually singing Get Happy, and is really trippy and really. Hugh Laurie's voice though is really great. So you can do genre bending, and you can do musical sections in non-musical IPs, or non-musical apart from that, non-musical stories, and it can be really good. And a part of that is definitely in the performance. You have to make the performance actually good, which is something that the Marvels failed at. Yes. Oh yeah, oh yes, Joker. Okay, we're getting off track with talking about musicals and stuff, but this is actually a really good point. Joker 2. Joker is one of the best characters that you can do a musical for. That perfectly fits his character. That would be amazing. That would be. You could do so much with that. A recent anime that came out that I really love is Artist Switch. It's really short. I think it's only 6 episodes long, and each episode is only like 8 minutes long. But each episode revolves around a musical vignette. The main character, who's Nina, who's a witch, meets it's an anthology series where the witch Nina helps various people around the town by putting them in a kind of trance that puts them into this really trippy music musical animation sequence, and it is so good. I really recommend watching Artist Witch. It ARTIS Witch. It is all one word. It is so brilliant. The animation is incredible. Episode 4 is the best. Ghost Food. The song I actually it's in my playlist, but the animation is so bloody brilliant. And the animation is really the standout part of it. How each episode revolves around this musical animation, musical plus animation vignette thing that centers around a different character each episode. That would have been brilliant for that kind of thing. Would have been brilliant for a Joker film or a Joker episode. Like, imagine if we had a new Batman the Animated Series imagine if we still got Batman the Animated Series coming out now, and we could have an episode focused around Joker where the animation is really trippy and weird. Like, it deviates from the normal animation style of the show. Have the show keep the Bruce Timm 2D style that it goes with for the most part. For every other episode, keep it generally the same. But this one episode for Joker kind of delves into his mind and goes fully musical and like really shows off his madness, and through the method of animation. And you could lean into the kind of Madoka Magica style, using kind of collage techniques in the animation. God, that would be so good. That would be brilliant. It will be the standout episode. It will be a standout episode of a Batman show like that. And Joker would be the perfect character for that kind of thing, for that kind of episode. That would be so goddamn brilliant. But no, Joker 2 just fuck. Don't. Okay, we're getting off track. Yes, the thing that got me onto this track is basically that it is that Doctor Strange. It should have been Doctor Strange instead of having a musical section. Instead of having a musical section in the Marvels, they should have had Doctor Strange's film. Instead of Multiverse of Madness, they should have gone with the original idea where he fights Nightmare. I think Nightmare is the main villain, and he has to travel in different kind of nightmare realms. You could take inspiration from Labyrinth. Holy fuck! Oh my god, that would be so fucking good. And you could have Doctor Strange enter a kind of some sinister song-based universe or pocket realm or something where the villains or these monstrous creatures or something, or like the fire guys from Labyrinth. Their whole the point of the fire puppets, who are kind of hippie degenerate weirdos who pull themselves apart and put themselves back together, trying to pull Sarah into having fun with them. The original lyrics for that sequence in Labyrinth was actually like really creepy and really messed up, because those monsters, those characters, are supposed to represent kind of bad friends who have a bad influence on you, that you could pick up and kind of pull you into their degeneracy and bad habits. That's what they meant. And so they invite you to have a good time, but actually it fucks you up and destroys you inside. And that's why Sarah runs away from them. That's what they're meant to represent in Labyrinth. Labyrinth is a story about adolescence and growing up. Sarah, starting out the story saying like repeating the phrase "it's so unfair" and not wanting to take care of Toby, her little brother. But then towards the end, she actually grows to appreciate friendship and responsibility and that kind of thing, and grows up into a proper, well-rounded person. Anyway. Labyrinth is so goddamn good. It is such a brilliant... It is a cultural ultimate. It is one of the best films ever made. I cannot contain my praise of Labyrinth. Yes. Yes. For a Doctor Strange films, you should take inspiration from Labyrinth, but especially for a Doctor Strange film. That would be so good. That would be so good. Like, imagine Sam Raimi working on a Doctor Strange film inspired by Labyrinth. Holy shit. That would be, like, the best fucking thing to come out in, like, an entire decade. What the fuck? But anyway, the point I was getting at is that you could have had a section in a Doctor Strange film that is song based. I don't know if Benedict Cumberbatch can sing. He kind of he has a deep voice, and he kind of gives off that impression that he might be able to sing. But if he can, God, that would have been so goddamn brilliant. But Sarah doesn't sing in Labyrinth, so you could have just had some villainous entity singing in a Doctor Strange film, and it would have worked, because the entire point of, well, a part of the point of magic is that it's supposed to be non-scientific. That it is supposed to be things that science can't explain. That is what separates magic and science. Something I hate is when stories or people compare magic to coding, kind of like you're messing with the code of reality. No, fuck that. The point of magic is that it's weird. The point of magic is that it does not make sense and cannot be absolutely explained. It can only be sort of redirected and sort of harnessed to fit your whims. But the point of magic is that it is not science. That is what separates science and magic. Science and magic need, yes. Oh my god. Netflix Castlevania. Don't even get me started. But the point, it really does piss me off. This is something I will not budge on. Science and magic need to be separate. They need to be different. They need to be distinct. Magic cannot just be an alternate method, an alternate skill tree of science. They are different. They have to be different. Otherwise, it's not magic. But yes, that's what I was getting at. You could, because magic is meant to be weird and kind of freaky and hard to explain, or impossible to fully explain, it makes perfect sense to have a music-based realm, or music-based pocket dimension, or music-based creatures, or music-based monsters, or music-based magic. They had that section in the duel where against Sinister Strange, where Doctor Strange uses the notes of the music, and it's so cringe. Usually I really like when things are really campy. I actually love camp, but it just didn't work, and it was very half baked. The entire duel should have been Voldemort versus Dumbledore from not Goblet of Fire, from Order of the Phoenix, but times a million. They should have gone really weird with it. They should have gone really trippy and really insane. They should have taken everything up to 11. This is Sorcerer Supreme, sort of. Sorcerer Supreme in everything but title versus Sorcerer Supreme but evil. That should have been the most ridiculous and insane thing. And that, like, you see the behind the scenes where they talk about like the undead cat head and I really like the Hydra. He has the snakes coming out of his hands to fight Wanda. That was a pretty cool spell. But they should have gone even weirder with it. You should play with animation techniques and play with different art styles and different animation styles in magic, because magic is supposed to be weird. Magic is supposed to be fucked up. Magic is supposed to be trippy and out there. It is not science. Anyway, oh, that was an entire thing. I find it difficult to talk while drawing because I need to wave my hands around for emphasis. Scott Derrickson's draft would have been better. His original draft had Nightmare. Imagine Doctor Strange going into Nightmare. Yes, and with, you could have done. I saw the concept art that you sent me as well. It looks so goddamn brilliant. But yes, if you go, it's so much is wrong, so much potential wasted. Oh my god, for that piece of goddamn garbage, Multiverse of Madness. But you got to see Reed Richards die like a fucking retard. Hooray! Aren't you happy? You got to see Black Bolt blow his goddamn brains out. Aren't you happy? And you got to see the fucking fan fiction characters fight like Giga Magic Hitler, like schizo Hitler, but with red magic. Hooray! That's fun. Oh, and you got to see Patrick Stewart as Professor X die like an idiot in like 5 seconds. Fantastic. That okay. Another magic and mind thing that this connects to what you said about going into nightmares and fighting Marvel Freddy Krueger. Mind fight. I was really disappointed to watch. I think everyone was disappointed watching X-Men Apocalypse, the film, when Apocalypse and Charles Xavier fight in the Mindscape. It was over in like five goddamn seconds, and it had a bit of a build up. Like Professor X says, "You're in my house now," and start beating up Apocalypse, and it's like, yeah, we're gonna actually see like a really cool like psychic battle. But then Apocalypse just gets big and like beats him up, and then Jean Grey wins the fight in like 5 seconds anyway. Like what the fuck? Nothing matters. Okay, but it's even worse in Multiverse of Madness. It was almost great. It was almost great. The framing of the real Wanda that was being possessed, being under the rubble, that was really good. And then everything being white, and then this little bit of rubble in just this pure white landscape, white ground, white sky, with just this bit of dirty rubble with Wanda trapped underneath. That is great. That is a brilliant framing. And then Professor X trying to pull her out, and then the red smoke creeping up on him in this pure white, pure red. That is brilliant use of color, brilliant framing, brilliant concept all round. And then it's just over. He just neck snaps. He's dead. What the fuck? Just fuck it. Okay. What the fuck ever? Why even? Why am I here? Why am I watching this? What the fuck was the point of any of that? Why even make this film if you're not? Why have Professor X even show up? Why not have a weaker psychic character that no one really cares about? Or something, or make your own fucking psychic to die like a pathetic retard. But that was what I was going to say. Psychic battles should be the most trippy, literally psychotic, insane, mad thing that you've ever seen. You need to have battles in the mind is such a just saying that phrase immediately conjures up so many images in my brain of insane spectacles and insane ways that the people could fight in one's mind. So much potential just down the fucking drain. Because for what? For fan service? But it's not fan service. Is it fan service to see a character you love die pathetically? I guess if we learn anything from Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, then yes. I tore into that one last stream yesterday. Oh fucking hell! That I hate. Okay, another tangent coming up. We're going to stray so far. We've already strayed so far from the actual topic, but let's go deeper. Character deaths. I hate when characters die. When characters die pathetically, basically. I think everyone does, but I hate when writing or writers kind of make a mockery of a character's death. It's even worse when there is a multiverse, or when there is when canon is kind of wibbly wobbly, like in comics, when you know that a retcon is upcoming and nothing matters anyway, and just canon is just kind of tenuous in comics. It's even worse there, because you know that that not only does the death not matter, but also the method and the way that the death happens doesn't matter, and oh, anyway, that was don't worry about it. That's a whole fucking thing. Oh, I hate so much. To relate it back to the multiverse, I hate it when they have characters die and then just go, lol, that was a different version of them. I mean, hell, look what they did with Kang. Yes. Okay. I need to go grab a drink because I've been fuck. I the rest of the day I basically don't talk at all. I'm I'm borderline mute because I'm I have some kind of issues about like being looked at while I talk. I'm actually when sometimes I trip over my words in streams, and you've seen that, or but in face to face conversations I'm way worse, and sometimes I just completely like, shut down and go non-verbal. Like, sometimes my words literally just stop working and fail. Um, and I'm really happy that that doesn't happen when I'm live, because no one's actually looking directly at me. They're looking at the screen and kind of hearing what I'm saying without actually looking at my face. So when yes, so what I'm saying is I need a drink. I need a drink because I don't talk anywhere near this much for the rest of the day. I talk a lot for like an hour each day on stream. So I'll be right back. Um, everything I do is beyond scuffed. I'm actually using, this is a notepad for the BRB sign. I'm using a notepad window and window capture with OBS. I should probably keep this around so that I can reuse it. Everything, nothing I do has ever or will ever be professional. Anyway, the yeah, thank you. Just adjusting my chair. I have coffee now. The something real quick. I really recommend the Madoka Magica side story. I actually kind of messed up. I watched the side story before the main anime, but I actually prefer the side story in terms of character and animation. Definitely animation. I really love, because I love both. They're both Madoka Magica and Madoka Magica side story are brilliant, but I prefer the witches from the side story, how they're animated. They use a kind of a collage technique, animated. It kind of reminds me. Yes, you do need to see Madoka Magica. It's really good. Don't do what I did. Watch Madoka Magica and then the side story. Do the opposite of what I do. The lost my train of thought there. Thank you. Sorry. It kind of reminds me of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine film, in the way that it animates the witches and animates the Awasa, which are the other kind of monsters from the Madoka Magica side story. Awasa, Awasa. The But there's also a lot of really cool stuff that they do with why is my brain not working, with the backgrounds and with the the cities and the landscapes and stuff, and the buildings. Madoka, the main story actually, what's her name? The main character of Madoka. Her name her name is Madoka. What the fuck is wrong with me? Her house is kind of like really weird and really I don't know how to explain it, but it's not like things are in real life, and like the school has like glass walls and stuff, and I don't know. It's actually really well done. It gives the sense of unreality at the same time as being quite grounded in reality, in it, and in the fact that this is the real world, but kind of messed up and kind of weird with the witches. No, not the witches. With the magical girl's wishes, especially in the side story in episode 1, with the view of the city, where it's kind of as far as I can remember, it's kind of got glass and green. It's really beautiful, and it's actually a very, very rare example of a city that I would live in and not want to kill myself in every fucking time I look at a building, like I do with London. Fuck, don't get me started. Okay, anyway, multiverses. That's the point of this stream. Multiverses. Okay. I've only covered one kind of multiverse, and then I got really sidetracked with like musicals and shit. So one kind of multiverse is the Narnia / Minecraft method of every universe being distinct but accessible between the worlds. You can move from world to world through special methods, and every world is completely distinct with its own geography, its own histories, its own materials and levels of technology and kinds of technology, and also magic systems. Those and in Chronicles of Narnia, there's also Charn, the White Witch's home world, which also has a different magic system to Narnia, which also has a different magic system to the real world. And in the Magician's Nephew, in the wood between the worlds, there are all the different puddles, which represent different worlds that you can go into, and so you can infer, because there are loads of these puddles, and the wood between the worlds theoretically like goes on forever. And every different world, you can theorize that every different world has its own different representations of the Christian God, because in Chronicles of Narnia it's Aslan. In Narnia it is Aslan, who represents Jesus, and the Emperor from the Emperor Beyond the Sea, I think his title is God. And then in the real world, in the Chronicles of Narnia, we obviously have Christianity. So you can infer that in different worlds that you can access through the wood between the worlds, each world will have its own geography, its own history, its own magic systems, its own different forms of witchcraft and wizardry and sorcery and all those kind of things, and it will have its different versions of Aslan or Jesus or God, because it's a Christian tale. The Chronicles of Narnia does a really good job of being a Christian story that is accessible to non-Christians. It's actually the Chronicles of Narnia and the Oh Hellos, the band, are the only things that have kind of influenced me to actually like question my atheism. Like, they're such brilliant, transcendental pieces of art that are just beyond brilliance. Yes, and Lord of the Rings. Yes, that is a good point. But Lord of the Rings is much less overt. But I do agree that it does definitely have that aspect. Anyway, yes. So that's the first kind of multiverse, and I would say the best kind of multiverse. Oh, and that's another really good thing. One really good thing about the method is that no matter how big that multiverse is, things still matter, because in real life the universe is technically infinite. Which at that point, why not have a multiverse? Because it's infinite anyway. And like you get Reddit nihilists or what's his name, Neil deGrasse Tyson, like pointing at a picture of the solar system and saying, "You are here. Look how small you are. Look how insignificant you are. You're going to die, and nothing you do will matter. Everyone will forget you. The universe is cruel and indifferent. Wah, 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 wah. Like, aren't you miserable? Aren't you miserable like me? Like, let me bring you down to my level because someone else is fucking my wife." God, I fucking hate nihilists. Fuck's sake, dude. Yeah, nothing matters because hecking science. Yeah, but that's the thing with the truth is, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how. Yeah, Rick Sanchez syndrome. It doesn't matter how big the universe is. It doesn't matter how many people there are. You still matter. Like the quantity theory of value. The economic theory of value does not apply to people. Just because there are lots of a person, that doesn't mean a human life is less valuable. Like it works with gold. The reason that gold is valuable is because there's very little of it, but that doesn't apply to people. That's fucking retarded. Especially since like people are different. One lump of I don't know like how the carat system works, but 1 gram of 5 carat gold, let's say, is equally valuable to this other 5 gram lump of that other one there. I can't fucking speak. One lump of 1 carat, 1 lump of 1 gram of 5 carat gold is exactly as valuable as another lump of 1 gram 5 carat gold. Why is that hard? Why is that so hard to say? But 2 people can be literally. You could literally clone a person, but the clone will still be different and still hold different value to the original. or two clones of the same person, and the two clones can still have different levels of value as a person, and both are still just as valuable. Just because, it's a bit like Plo Koon that in the Clone Wars, that the clone's saying, "We're meant to be expendable, sir," and Plo Koon goes, "Not to me." That entirely applies to people, but multiverses. I need to stop getting off track. What the fuck? Just because in this kind of multiverse, in the Narnia / Minecraft method of multiverse, things still matter. People still matter. Just because there are loads and loads and maybe infinite universes, because they're all different, because they're all completely distinct, because there are no two of the same person in the vast multiverse, in this method of multiverse, every single person still matters, and every decision matters, which is what brings me on to the method of multiverse that is shit, that is horrible, that actually, like, Owlman is right, but I'll get to that. The MCU method of multiverse, like with the TVA, God, that broke so much of the fucking, like, the stakes and the meaning of everything. So I brought up Star Wars right at the beginning, because the decision in Marvel, according to the TVA, it is decisions, it is actions that create different universes, that create the multiverse, that create branching timelines. And so they use in the animation, they use the example of no, Loki is horrible. They use the example of a man being late to work, creating a splintered timeline, creating two different timelines. Theoretic, like, meaning that if you were late to work, you create a new timeline. If you weren't late to work, you create another timeline. So, so, like, pissed. Oh, I'm gonna fucking explode. So, in Star Wars, let's say Star Wars has the MCU's multiverse method. Let's say there are branching timelines in the Star Wars universe, and there may well be with the whole fucking world between worlds thing from Ahsoka and Rebels. Maybe. Don't get me started on that. Don't fucking get me started. So in Return of the Jedi, Luke chooses to save his father. He chooses not to kill Darth Vader. He chooses not to kill Anakin. He tosses his lightsaber away, and he says, "I am a Jedi." That is his decision. It is the decision that he made because he is him. It is a decision that it is meaningful because it is what he would have done. It is what Luke would have done. It is his decision that he made, and it is meaningful. Specifically because it is a decision that he made. And I know I'm kind of like repeating myself here, and it kind of like I'm spelling it out kind of like I'm talking to a 5-year-old, but that's because it is meaningful because it is a decision. It is meaningful because it is a choice, because of the character's free will, and because the character specifically chose to make that decision in that circumstance, because that is what he would do, because that is what he is like, because that is his character. However, if we're going with saying that the MCU's multiverse is the case, that's not why he made that decision. He made that decision as a mathematical certainty, because in an alternate timeline, he didn't make that decision. Luke didn't actually make the decision to save Darth Vader. He didn't make the decision to throw his lightsaber away. He didn't make the decision not to join the Emperor or become a Sith and give in to his anger. He didn't make that decision. Because actually, what happened was the timeline split. What happened was, everything up to that point was this, but then the point of the decision came, that in that second, the timeline split into a yes and a no. Luke didn't choose no. He didn't choose not to make the decision to kill Darth Vader. He didn't choose No, we are just following this path in the timeline. While watching the film, we are just following this direction. This also happened because Luke doesn't have a character. If we go with the MCU's method of multiverse, no character actually has a character. No character has agency. Every decision that we make in the film, every decision that we see made in the films, is not a real decision. It is completely random. We are just following the path. We are just following the path that each character completely randomly makes, because the other path also happened. We just happen to be following this direction on the path of the timeline. Do you understand? According to this, no decision. It's not only that no decision matters because every decision happens anyway. It is literally that decisions don't exist. It is literally that choice is an illusion, because every choice you made also happened. You might as well become a mass murdering psychopath. You might as well shoot up a school or something, because in another timeline, you didn't do that because you don't exist. You as a character, your decisions don't exist. Your decisions are literally just a mathematical certainty. Whatever you say, whatever you do, whatever you think, in every second of every day, every decision, or even every consideration of a decision is entirely mathematical. It is entirely up to chance. If we go with the multiverse, if we go with the decisions creating new timelines method. I am considering seeing Everything Everywhere All at Once. It is on my watch list. But the reason why this sucks, the reason why this method of multiverse sucks, is because it makes the story mean nothing. A character making a decision doesn't mean that the character made that decision because they're that character. It means that the character made that decision purely because we rolled the dice and this is the path that we are following as we watch the film, as the film is being made. Not because there's anything inherent about the character that, not because the character has any values or any personality or any agency even. No, that's all gone. That's all nothing. Every character is just a lump of random variables. Every decision is just a toss of the die. And it sucks. Owlman from that when he was played by James Woods in that Justice League film, he is literally correct. The only decision that you could make in this, if this kind of multiverse was the case, would be to destroy the multiverse. That's the only decision that can ever matter. He is correct, and the only other way, apart from literally going insane, because of the Lovecraftian horror, literally, that is reality, the only other way that you can deal with this is to pretend that the multiverse being like that means nothing, which is what happens in that film. The existence of the multiverse doesn't mean anything. The fact that our decisions don't mean anything doesn't affect anyone. It doesn't affect anyone's character. You might as well be an evil psychopath, because another version of you, Owlman literally says, it doesn't matter if you don't like me. There are alternate versions of me that you'll find quite charming. Is a quote, because he's right. He's literally right, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you choose, unless you're only, the only way that you can measure value is personal comfort. The only reason that you're not a mass murdering psychopath as a result of this is because it would make you unhappy. But that doesn't matter, because an alternate version of you is. An alternate version of you is a mass murdering psychopath. Because fuck it. But the only other way for this not to fuck up everything and to destroy everything and to make everyone fucking kill themselves because there's no point, to make every character might as well just die because there's no point anymore, in this method of multiverse, the only other way is to act like it doesn't matter. At which point, why even have a multiverse in your story for any reason other than key jangling? If the only way to have a multiverse without it completely just destroying everything in your story is to make it not matter, then why have it in the first place? Can you tell that whole round has been on my mind for a long time? I want to do scripted stuff. I do have loads of scripts and stuff, but the thing is, I never write scripts, and I always get sidetracked, and I have millions of unfinished scripts that I'm never going to actually make into anything. So I'm kind of using this as a way to say things that I want to say in scripted form, while I'm still working on making scripts, and also because this kind of like stimulates my brain and actually makes me more productive. Sorry, I'm hiccuping. I am not a fish. Yep, it works. This kind of stimulates my brain and makes me more productive outside of streams as well. So I will actually be back to making scripted stuff. Oh my god. Like I understand the motivation and the drive to make what ifs and to make characters meet different versions of themselves from different timelines if some action had been different. I do understand that motivation, but there are better ways of doing it, and there are ways of doing it that don't destroy your entire story and your entire story's universe. Like I suppose like the only way to the only way to make a multiverse story that kind of work in that way, I guess, is with time travel, where a character goes back in time and changes the past and actively creates a splinter in the timeline. That actually, because in that way, the splinter in the timeline is a result of a specific action, not just mathematical certainty, not just pure chance. You know? Oh my word, that was I'm out of breath. But yeah, I just hate multiverses so much, and it's not even that. It's not even most of the time a question of execution. It's a question of kind of the concept in itself being tainted and kind of wretched and horrible in a way that I just cannot reconcile. I think a lot of Marvel's what if stories are just so that they don't have to come up with new characters. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. That's like there's a thing with the new Captain America film without Captain America, where they're giving Falcon, they're giving Sam Wilson all these different powers and all these different equipment. Like he has the Black Panther explosion EMP thingy. I think it's an EMP. I don't remember, but I actually don't really mind that. I think it actually it does make sense that people would share tech, and I think it can be done in a way that is. I don't trust that they'll do it in a good way, but conceptually, giving tech or giving equipment to different characters actually makes a lot of sense and could be done in a really good way. Like I have in my own story, there's a weapon that's kind of like the brute shot from Halo 3. And I think Halo Infinite, did they bring the brute shot back in Halo Infinite? I don't know, but I hope they did, because it's one of my favorite weapons, and it's really fun. It's like a grenade launcher with a big fucking knife on it. I love it. But yeah, so in my story, that there's this pirate character who has the brute shot in her treasury, and she sometimes uses it. And then later on in the story, someone else with no relation to the character actually picks up it finds its way into her hands, and then she also uses the weapon, and it's just kind of like a cool, and it becomes her main weapon. So it's like, it's not really key jangling or what was the other thing? No, yeah, it's not key jangling, but it's or fan service, but it's kind of like, oh, hang on, that's the weapon there. That's actually really neat. That kind of like made its way into her hands. I like to kind of play with perception, and it's kind of like in that Nick Cage film, Lord of War. Is that the film? Where the opening sequence is the POV of the bullet. Yeah, there's a sequence in my story where it's kind of the POV of that weapon finding its way from this one side story character into another side story character's hands. So I like playing with perception. I like playing with time and storytelling, kind of like how in How I Met Your Mother is, it's kind of mid in terms of comedy, and the ending is completely just horrible and destroys the entire show. But the one thing that did really well is the storytelling aspect. Like there's this one episode is the characters are in the airport trying to get to a plane, and they're going to be late, and they keep debating about whose fault it is, and the episode, and that's the framing device. The characters talking about whose fault it is that they're going to be late for the plane, and the episode is made up of flashbacks, going back in time to different characters, and it being their fault that they're going to be late for the plane. And there are loads of episodes like that, and yeah, I just really like using framing devices and storytelling, and kind of playing with time, memory, and perception in storytelling, and that's kind of what I have done with kind of the weapon making its way from one character's hand to another. Yeah. What was that? Yeah. So I kind of I'm not entirely opposed to characters giving each other tech or handing down tech, and especially if it would be stupid if they didn't. Especially if sharing tech is actually the expedient and like strategic, and it makes sense to do. Like, why wouldn't you give your friends this really powerful like item? It's kind of like how in Love and Thunder, Thor being able to give the kids his lightning powers ruins like every other film that Thor has been in, because it makes you ask the question, hang on, why didn't he empower like in the Battle of New York? Why didn't he empower all of the Avengers with lightning powers? That's stupid. Why didn't you? What the fuck? What the fuck, Taika Waititi? Why are you like this? But yeah, he just wanted a teddy bear to shoot lightning out of its eyes, because fuck you. If you want a good example of how to use time in a creative way, Memento. That is also on my watch list. I need to stop watching. Well, no, I'll never stop watching, but I'll never stop watching films from before the 2000s. But like, I need to watch like more. I need to watch more stuff. God damn it. I haven't even like got far with like this drawing. Ah. I don't know if my rant's over. I think I've said. No, that's shit. I think I've said what I what, what I wanted to say. I didn't know that it was before the 90s. Huh. It is. I didn't know it was a 90s film. Okay, yeah. That's probably in my. That's within range for me. Um. Okay. I guess because it's been over an hour, and I think I've said what I wanted to say. I didn't really get far with the drawing, but yeah, I managed to rant and I went on like 50 fucking tangents. I think this has been just much more successful than than the other streams, and actually I've got more views than the others. So yeah, I didn't express myself as well as I would have liked, which is why I do want to do proper scripted things. But I think I kind of got my point across. Um, which is that in case I didn't, the point is that multiverses that generate different timelines and different universes out of decisions of characters make character and decisions entirely redundant. And therefore, because stories are made of decisions, because stories are good stories are decision driven, multiverses like that make stories themselves, they make the stories that they are in redundant as well. They make every decision that every character has made in the entire story entirely redundant, because those decisions didn't actually come from the character, they came from the multiverse. Um, yeah, or just like not being created with your different universes are cringe. Yeah. Um, if you are going to do multiverses, my advice is go the Narnia slash Minecraft slash Elder Scrolls route, because Elder Scrolls has like the Daedric realms and has Sovngarde and that kind of thing. So and Cold Harbor, like that, like in the Vigilant Sky. Pardon me. The Skyrim mod Vigilant is really good. It's a really good representation of Cold Harbor, and yeah, okay, that's a whole other tangent. I could get into a whole other thing there. You should play Vigilant and play Skyrim, play modded Skyrim, and play Vigilant, because that's just a really great mod. So if you're going to write a multiverse, I would say go with the Narnia slash Elder Scrolls slash Minecraft method. If you really want to have characters confront different versions of themselves, use time travel or kind of mind control or like illusions and stuff. Like in the final episode of House, when he's tripping in the burning building and he talks to Stacy, or he hallucinates that he's talking to Stacy. He also hallucinates that he's married to her and has a child with her, and it's kind of like he's meeting this other version of himself that could have been but now can't. With the idea being that Stacy is Stacy his mind represented by Stacy is telling him that because this could have been, it still could be, so he should live. So if you want to have a character confront a different version of themselves, a much better way to do that is to have them meet in a kind of mindscape or some kind of dream realm or some kind of hallucination, that kind of thing, or have them talk to a god or something. And if you really must have a multiverse to accomplish that, then don't don't have it be a decision generated multiverse, because that just makes everything entirely redundant and useless and destroys your entire story. Like in Skullduggery Pleasant, those books, they actually do go to an alternate dimension where history is completely different, but it's kind of acceptable there because they don't say that the world is that this timeline was created by a decision. It's just kind of there. It just kind of happens. So it's not entirely explained, but it's just kind of there. So you can kind of rationalize it as something other than a decision generated timeline or decision generated multiverse. Because if that was the case, then nothing matters. Ugh. Bloody hell! I'm so worn out. I've really expressed myself today, haven't I? Or if you do the multiple timelines thing, have it grounded in compelling character like Everything Everywhere All at Once. I cannot sign off on that because I haven't seen the film. After I've seen it, I'll say something. But I trust you for and your takes, because you have good takes. Anyway, fuck. Okay. It's been an hour and 27 minutes and almost 30 seconds. So I'm just gonna end the stream now. Okay. Thank you for watching the I don't know how to tell. I think it's saying that 3 people are watching right now and that 11 people have like tuned in and tuned out. But thank you to the 3 people who are here at the moment, I think. And if there are 11 of you right now, then thank you to the 11 of you. I don't know how this works. I'm kind of retarded. But yeah, thank you for watching. This has been fun and a lot more structured than the others. And I promise I will get better and more structured in the future the more time I do this. Yay. Okay. Goodbye.